Well, I wanted to ask you about Coach Jason Macdonald and bringing him aboard. I mean, when Coach Judge left, why did you think about Coach Macdonald?
It was a perfect fit. He's been our offensive coordinator at the prep school for 8 years. He knows all of our NAPS kids, very, very well. In fact, better than us. Because when you're at NAPS, you do a lot of things.
You're not just coach.
You're washing the clothes. You're painting the fields. You're Dr. Phil.
Right.
You're the academic advisor. You're doing everything. Just then you're coach. And then you might have to feed them, and just a lot of different roles. And so he knows our culture, and it happened so late with Mike leaving, and so I thought it was a perfect timing. Like I said, he knows exactly what we're doing, knows our culture. It's been perfect fit, and he's been awesome.
So obviously, fullbacks coach, as an offensive coordinator, he should know all the positions and what they do. So you felt like he was qualified to be fullbacks coach?
Yeah, because at the prep school, he's coached them all.
Right, he's coaching the quarterback. He's
fullback. There might be times because we have to send TADs up there to kind of supplement the staff, and so it's all based on which linemen go up there. Sometimes there might be a lineman that's, so he'll coach the quarterbacks. Sometimes we got a quarterback that TADs, and he can coach the line.
Right.
So he had to be flexible up there. And like I said, he's been in our offense for 8 years. He spent a ton of time with Coach Jasper. Mm-hmm. Knows us, and there have been other times where I was close to hiring him. You know what I mean? He was close on several occasions. Came down to finalists and getting the job. But I couldn't be more happier. Super happy for him, his wife Dominic, and their kids. And so he's been a great addition.
And obviously, all the guys seem to know him, and the guys who played up there at NAPS have said very good things about him. I'm sure that played into your thinking, is that this guy's, you're hearing players say this guy Macdonald was a good coach, and we like this guy, and all that.
Well, when you're up there, like I said, you're talking about, girlfriend problems, family issues going on.
Right, homesick.
You're dealing with a lot of things up there, more than just football. And so when you're in those kind of situations where you're talking about personal life matters with people, you become pretty close with them. Mm-hmm. So like I said, he knows all of these kids. He's done a great job over the years, and that was another reason. But all of those were reasons.
Obviously, this program is the most important program, so if you have a guy that you feel is valuable, but at the same time, I imagine you're like, I kind of hate to take him away from Naps because he's so good there, but at some point, a guy earned his way, and you filled the Naps, I'm sure, with someone else.
Well, there are 3 other times, like I said, where I almost took him here. Very, very, that's how good I feel about him. He was like a finalist for a job here. And like you said, you also don't want him to leave Naps, but it was the right time. We needed him. We got another good guy up there, actually Michael Patrick, that played here before.
Is he now the offensive coordinator?
He's up there, so a guy that played in our program, so it all worked out.
Well, I just wanted to ask you about coming aboard. Obviously, you've been at the prep school 8 years, and you get the call. It must have been pretty exciting.
Yeah, I was on cloud nine. It's something that my wife and I, we've been waiting for a long time, and it was unreal. And I'm just happy to be here.
Coach had mentioned to me, Coach Niumatalolo, that he considered you a few times before, and you were a finalist, and so I know that that's tough when you think you might get it and you don't, but you kept plugging away, and obviously you didn't have to stay at the prep school for 8 years. You could have left and tried an opportunity elsewhere. It sounds like you wanted to get here.
More importantly, I love the kids that I was around, and I love working with Coach Niumatalolo. And you're always going to be, I'm sure, whenever someone doesn't get a job they go for, there's going to be a certain level of disappointment. But for me, this is always the place I wanted to be, whether it was here or in Newport, Rhode Island. And that's first and foremost because of the kids that are in this program. The young men in this program, you don't find them anywhere else. And I've been places, and I got a lot of friends at other places, and you just don't find kids like this who go through what they go through on a daily basis, bring it on a daily basis, and have the kind of energy and the kind of love for each other that they do. And on top of that, now you work for a guy like Coach Niumatalolo, and I always considered a part of an extension of his staff when I was at the Naval Academy Prep School. And Coach Chevry and I up there, we always thought that we were a part of his staff, and we approached it like that. It was almost kind of like, I guess, back in the 70s and 80s when they had those freshman football teams, we always just kind of looked at each other like that. And
right.
We took great pride in teaching the culture of this place up there, and we did our best, and so it was, and I was happy, as I was ecstatic, I was all heck for Bryce Macdonald. he's somebody I look up to, somebody I learned a lot from, and when he got the call, I picked up the phone and wished him congratulations. And same thing with Coach Dupay, man, he's a great guy, and in the end, it all worked out. You know, Bryce is out there in UCLA doing his thing, and now I'm here with Coach Dupay and everybody else. But, you know, guys like Coach Niumatalolo, Coach Jasper, Coach Ingram, Coach O'Rourke, Coach Iokitis, working for those guys, you know, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So as offensive coordinator at Naps, I'm guessing that you were regularly in touch with Ivan Jasper and Coach Niumatalolo and others, trying to learn as much as you could about the offense. I would imagine you came here periodically to do little tutorials to make sure that you were teaching it right at Naps. Can you kind of talk about the training that you've gotten in this offense to learn it the way you needed to be able to teach it at Naps?
Yeah, no doubt. So I came from Springfield College out in Springfield, Massachusetts, who's been running it for years. You know, so I learned it. Yep, running the triple for years. I learned it under Mike Sarasulo out there, and then I came here, and you know, Coach Jasper and Coach Niumatalolo have slight differences in there and how they teach it, and I learned their way, and you know, I couldn't be hungrier in my learning. And the great thing for me was my first TAD group was Vince Murray, Ricky Dobbs. You know, it was Matt Malloy and Greg Jones, guys like that. So you have that core group from the 2010 class, you know, who had all those wins when they were here, and they taught me it. And then I'm coming down here and having a chance in the off season to meet with Coach Jasper, Coach Niumatalolo, and Coach Ingram. It's like learning from master teachers, you know.
Right,
I don't have a better. People would pay in a different career. People would pay a lot of money to get educated by people at the top of the field like that.
So I know at Naps you were an offensive coordinator and you had to coach everything, and depending on who the TADs were, you may have put specific attention to one position group, but you jumped around and probably coached slots, fullbacks, offensive line, receivers at some point. But coming here, you've got to become expert fullback coach. Have you had, since you were hired, had to put a little more extra time into making sure you learned the fullback coach, the fullback's position and what its requirements are to an absolute higher level than what you may have known it before?
Absolutely, without a doubt. And expert is far away from what I am right now. You know, I'm just out here trying to do my best to make sure these guys are bringing effort and holding on to the football. If they protect the football and if they bring the kind of effort that we need, it all starts there. I mean, if they can't protect the football and they can't bring effort, then you know, it doesn't really matter much what happens after that. So that's what we're focusing on, and I'm a long way from being an expert at anything. But
you go
yeah,
to Coach Jasper. I think he coached fullbacks here at one point. Is he the guy you go to ask specifics about what do I need, you know, little things, nuances about the position?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no doubt. And you know, the quarterbacks and the B-backs work together so much anyway. And in the room, Coach Jasper's thing in the room is, you know, drop the egos at the door. Nobody has one, so everyone's in there. We're constantly talking. You know, we're learning every single day. We're in those meeting rooms. So, but without a doubt, Coach Jasper's the guy I go to if I have a question about that.
So, how many of the current fullbacks here did you coach at Naps?
Only two of them I didn't.
Okay.
So Isaac Ruas and James Harris were the only two guys that did not.
So you did coach this man behind me, Nelson?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did coach Nelson. Yeah, he did a great job for us up there.
Right. So coming in, you had the familiarity with these guys?
I did, yes, sir. Right. And two of them I coached last year. They were in my room.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm doing a story about Coach Macdonald, as you probably guessed. You apparently met him at Naps, and it's kind of cool that he comes here and he coaches you for a second time.
Yes, sir. Really enjoyed him at Naps. He always brings a lot of energy. He brought the same thing here.
Obviously, he's coming in and kind of as a new fullbacks coach, and it's not the same as Coach Judge. And in some ways, you players that have been in the program might know a few little things more than him. Has there been any kind of interaction in that regard, or has he gotten up to speed real quick?
He's usually pretty on top of things. If there's any corrections that I can see, I'll help him out a little bit. But other than that, he's doing a great job.
I saw him out here today chasing you around, telling you to hold the two hands on the ball and you know, run this way. He's one of those guys who get after you.
Huh? Absolutely. This is probably one of the most running I've done the whole time I've been here.
So what do you think of the group as a whole, the fullback group? Because you're really the only returning fullback who's gotten much time. You lost a lot of carries out of that room. What do you think of the group as a whole?
I think it's a very competitive group. Everybody's hungry to play, and whoever is on the field is going to do a great job.
And last but not least, just Coach Macdonald overall, other than you mentioned he's high energy, all that, but just his general personality, is he, you know, what's he like in the room, in the meeting room?
He's a good person. You can tell that he genuinely cares. He loves the guys. You know, he might be hard on us, but you know, he loves it at the end of the day.